Welcome back everyone for our X-framing upper body workout. Today we'll be stimulating lean muscle development within your back, your chest, and your shoulders using basic dumbbell strength exercises that you can do at home. All you need for equipment today is your medium to heavier set of dumbbells for your upper body, and I'll also be incorporating my bench today for our overhead presses, our lying chest flies, and single arm back rows. Now keep in mind this is an optional piece of equipment to use, and you can also do these exercises from a standing position as well as down on your mat. You can also opt to substitute using a chair for support during your single arm back rows or from a seated position to perform our overhead presses. Now smash that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel for a new routine every week. Don't forget to grab your free June fitness guide from the links below, and let's go ahead and get to work. Welcome back everyone. How are you feeling today? I do hope that you're looking forward to using the bench, but I do want to remind you, if you don't have the bench at home, this is all right. We'll really just be using our back rows today, which you can use from a standing hinge position, squeezing up and lowering down. You can even opt to use a support in front of you at shoulder level. This will prevent the torso from rocking if you're using a very heavy weight. Again, same exercise. Our second set of exercises will be our chest presses. Now when we're lying down on the bench, you can also do the same exercise down on the mat. And finally, for our overhead shoulder presses, this will be whatever you feel best with. This could be a standing position, a seated position, or kneeling for those presses. All right? So we've got 3 main circuits to cover today at 7 intervals each, and our timer will be set for 60 seconds work with a 30-second rest. We'll be starting with the back, working into the lats as well as the traps. Then we've got our pectoral muscles and finishing the workout with our anterior and posterior deltoid, so the front and back of those 3 heads. So let's get into our first position. I'll be using my 20-pound weights today, and given the extended rest that we have, you're welcome to use your heavier weights. Now the hand is going to be in line with the shoulder, drawn away from the ear. We're coming up towards the waist into our standard arm row with the palm faced in and back down. All right. Let's go ahead and get that timer started. In 3, knee in line with the hip. In 2, core tight. On 1, grab a hold of your weight. Squeeze up towards the waist, retract at the shoulder blade, and back down, allowing a bit of a stretch to happen at the bottom. Still keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Draw up towards the waist. Slow to lower. Squeeze, pause, and slowly down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 minute per exercise. We're gonna breeze right through it, and I do hope you're challenging yourself with heavier weights today. Don't allow the torso to rock. The only thing moving is the arm, and maybe you can blink a little bit if you'd like, but that's about it. Slow to lower. Squeeze up, retract back. Slow to come down, allowing a bit of a protraction, still keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Let's get 2 more. Slow to lower. Last one, make it your best one. And back down. 30-second rest, over to that other side. And then for our final 2 exercises for the row position, we'll be doing 2 consecutive exercises per side. So let's get into our position. The hand you were not just working. Squeeze that core tight, belly button in towards the spine. The back is staying straight throughout. We're feeling good, we're feeling strong until the end of it. In 3, 2, 1, squeeze up towards the waist. Slow to lower. Retract at the shoulder blade at the top. Slowly down. Remember to give it that squeeze, that pause. The nice thing with the bench is it gives you a chance to really stabilize yourself and focus on the muscle you're working. And you know, every time we're doing strength training, we're focused on that. We're learning. We're teaching our body what it needs to do, not just lifting and lowering weights. Mind to body connection here. Slow to lower. Squeeze up, retract back, slowly down. If you're using a very heavy weight today, for example, sometimes I work with my 35 or my 40-pound weights, maybe it's 3 reps max. That's okay, take the extra rest frame. Make the workout your own. Let's get 2 more, squeeze up, retract, slow to lower. Last one for me. Slowly down and lower that weight. All right, back over to the other side. This time we're working more of the lower traps. as opposed to the upper traps. And to do this, we're using an underhand grip. So the palm is facing away, same position as before, squeeze up towards the waist, back down. Thinking all the while about the muscle that you're working. Going in 7 seconds. Hand below the shoulder, nice straight line there. Squeeze up, palm is faced away from you, slow to lower. Retract at the top. As you come down, allowing a protraction at the shoulder blade, keeping the shoulder away from the ear. Takes practice to even learn how to separate those two things, but it is something to consider. Squeeze up, pause, slow to lower. Should not be allowing the weight to just drop down. We want to hold that tension on the muscles all the way through, even at the bottom of that stretch. Slow to lower, squeeze up towards the waist, slow to lower. Now, like I said before, we're going to stay on this side for our next exercise. Keep working for me though, we're not done here yet. Might feel this a bit in the bicep as well. But anyway, for our next exercise, I'm gonna go with a lighter weight. I would suggest you do the same until you're sure of what you can handle. Squeeze up, slow to lower, last time, and lower that weight down, take that 30-second rest. Now we're gonna vary this up again, this time so that we can hit more of the upper trap area. And to do this, we're gonna be using an overhand grip. So same position as before, just like we did. We're coming up at about a 30-degree angle to the side, forming an A shape, and back down. I'm using my 10-pound weight for this for reference, but of course use what's suitable for you. Going in 3, in 2, same thing standing on 1, up and out, slow to lower. Trying to lead with the elbow and back down. Retract at the top, back down. Holding that tension. The weight's not falling away from you. The torso's not dipping. We're not going anywhere. The only thing moving is the eyelashes as you blink, maybe a smile, and the arm that you're working. Squeeze up, slowly lower. Halfway there, then over to the other side. Then we've got a freestanding exercise, and then we go into our pectoral work. I love strength training. I feel like the focus is there, even when I'm talking you through it, right? You're thinking about what you want to be doing here. Squeeze up, slowly lower. We've got 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Lower it on down. Did you feel that in the upper back area? That's where we're working. We're contracting that. And over to the other side in 25 seconds. I would suggest too at the end of this, or even in between a rest frame, just jotting down what weights you're using in the comments so you have it for reference later. All right, back to your heavier weight if you did switch. This time the palm is facing up and away. Going in 4, 3, 2, on 1, elbow towards the waist, and slow to lower. Towards the waist, slow to lower. Trying to keep the hand in line with your outer side here, all right? We don't want the weight to come too far inward. We don't want it floating away from us. In line with your thigh, in line with your waist as you come up. Retracting, trying to feel for those lower trap muscles, and down. Squeeze up, and slowly down. Stay tall in that posture. Keep the shoulder away from the ear, the elbow away from the ear. Yeah. 15 more seconds. Every rep is your best rep, right? You're fighting for that tension. Squeeze, retract, slowly down. 2 more. 1 more. Burn that timer out. Slowly lower it down and go ahead and grab your lighter weight for me. 25 seconds, then we go into our horizontal. Again, try to form more of an A shape here, leading with the elbow, squeezing the upper trap area. In 13 seconds. Find your positioning. Where you are on your bench too, you might like your foot more on the bench, that's okay too. Whatever works best for you, just keeping that form nice and tall. Squeeze up. Slow to lower, palm is facing your thigh. shoulder away from the ear, breathing it out, knowing you're strong, you're powerful, you know that your head is in line with your neck, in line with your booty. Great job. Squeeze it up, slow to lower, A-frame shape as you come up. Leading with the elbow. And down, squeeze up, retract as you come down. Make sure you give it a bit of a stretch at the bottom, still keeping the shoulder away from the ear. I'm gonna keep reminding you that, and I'll probably remind you that for 10 years to come. Another 4, and 3, 2 more. Don't give up yet, get that last rep in there, and slowly lower that weight. All right, we're gonna grab a hold of our heavier weight now and bring it to center. We're going into our diamond rows. Now, if you have only lighter weights, I would suggest using both of them for this. We're working the biceps as well as the back here. So taking a wide stance with the feet, we're going to hinge forward just like we were, squat down, and now we row up towards the waist with the elbows in line with the waist and down. Going in 3, in 2, and 1. Roll the shoulders back and away, squeeze up, slowly lower. Slowly lower, back is staying straight throughout. I know I haven't faced you too much throughout this workout, I do apologize for that. But for these, it is important to be mindful of your positioning, right? Squeeze up. And if I face you from this position, I kind of look demonic, so we're going to avoid that for the next 35 seconds. Elbows towards the waist, slow to lower. Try to hinge forward, forming that 90-degree angle, and down. Squeeze the biceps too, I want both of those working. Up towards the chest center, slowly down. Can we get 3 more in there? Can we get 2 more in there? Squeeze. Can we get 1 more hold up? Retract. Slowly down, lower that weight off, and come into our position either in lying or we're coming to the bench for our chest presses. Now for this, we'll probably be a little bit behind the timer just for our setup, but go ahead and grab your heavier weights for me. Those are going to come to the front of the thighs. Same thing if you're on the mat. We're gonna kick back, keeping them close to the chest, bring them up and over. Whew. Find your positioning, no rush here. And as we come down, still forming an A shape, out to the side and press up towards the ceiling. Trying not to over flex at the wrists. Try to keep everything in alignment here, slow to lower, breathing in as you come down. Exhale on the way up. And if you're comfortable with it, you can come down a little bit lower than shoulder level to increase the stretch on your chest muscles and increase the tension on the way up. 35 seconds. Press up. Now all we've got here is 3 exercises for chest. We're going to repeat these 2 times through. So if it's not perfect that first run, you can always fix it on the second run. Press up. Slow to lower, find that stretch. Squeeze and contract. And up. And up. Let's get 1 more in there for good measure. Press it up, palms are in, bring the elbows down towards the waist and back into your seated position. Now for this one, we're gonna lower one of those weights off. We're going into our chest press. So as opposed to the chest row we just did, our diamond row, now we're going into the press version. So kick that weight back, keeping it close to the chest. We come from chest center up towards the ceiling and back down. Roll those shoulders away from the ears in 3, starting from the bottom, 2, and 1. Press up, 2, 3 to come down. Up, 2, 3 to come down. Elbows come in tight towards the waist. Up, 2, 3 to lower. Press, 2, 3 to lower. Doing incredible. Our third exercise will be with our lighter weights. Again, if you're on the mat, that's fine as well. Your feet at neutral, where you find they're most comfortable, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat or the bench. Press, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Breath out and in. Breath out and in. Another 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Slowly lower that weight. Bring yourself up into your seated position and grab a hold of your lighter weights for me. We're now going into a supine chest press. The palms are facing up this time. Keep the weights close to the body as you kick up. Palms are facing towards the chin. Now we're going to remember to keep those shoulders away from the ears. Now we're going to draw the elbows towards the waist and back up from our supine position. In 3, 2, 1. Don't overflex at the wrists. Come down towards the waist, up towards the ceiling. If you have that bench, you can increase the stretch by coming down a bit lower. Just make sure you're stable, not overdoing the weights here. Slowly lower, find that stretch, and press. You're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth on the way up. Semi-explosive on the way towards the ceiling. Still keeping a slight bend in the elbows at the top. Nothing too dramatic here. Just a little bit so you don't lock the joints out. Slow to lower, explode it up. You feel that? And up. And up. Let's get 3 more reps in. And 2. I feel like this is where that burn really hits. Last one. Press it up, palms are in, and then bring those elbows down towards the waist and take that 30-second rest. Back from the top, we're going into our wide chest presses once again. So grab a hold of your heavier weights. And you've got 15 seconds. And then we go straight from the top through these 3 exercises. Then we have a 2-minute break as we set our position up for our overhead presses. All right, kick it on back, palms are in. Now bring them up, lower those feet to the mat, make sure they're flat. Out into that A-shaped formation. And up, breath in, 2, 3, breath out. Doing amazing, just keep working hard. The further you get into these reps, you'll find that you can increase your range just a bit if you are on that bench. Bringing them down a little bit lower. You can also do these on a decline or an incline. That will increase the intensity. We've got 30 seconds to go. Not over flexing through the wrists. I do have to remind myself of that quite a bit actually. It's easy to let the palms kind of come towards your forehead, right? Slow, 2, 3, and up. Another 3. And 2. Last one, bring it up. Palms are in as you bring the elbows towards the waist, lower them onto the thighs, and seat yourself up, or you can just stay exactly where you are. All right, going with that single weight for our diamond press. Exactly how we did the diamond row, just from a different positioning, which does work things differently since we're changing where that gravity is being directed. All right, let's bring it back. Starting from the bottom. In 5, shoulders away from the ears. Press those into the mat or the bench. On 1, up towards the ceiling. Slow to lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4. Let it burn. Feel the tension in your muscles, controlling every movement, keeping a slight bend in the elbows at the top. You're doing incredible. We're almost through it. We've got 1 more exercise for chest. Repeating that 3rd round, and then straight into shoulders. 2, 3, and 4, and up. 2, 3, and 4. Looking up towards the ceiling light. Looking towards the light at the end of the tunnel here. I know it burns. Another 4, and 3, and 2. On our last one, really slow that movement downward for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that weight over to the side. I gotta burn out the timer. I can't let you cheat, right? And I don't want you to cheat yourself either. So if you feel like you're about to run out of reps, I can almost guarantee you, you've got 1 or 2 more left in there. Grab a hold of your lighter weights for me, our last one in lying, and then we reset the bench up. Kick yourself back. Palms are faced in. Bring them up, and now we're gonna turn them to face towards our chin, towards the forehead, not over flexing through the wrists. In 3, 2, hands in line with the shoulder. 1, towards the waist, and press. The further you come down, the more tension you're going to place on those muscles, but don't overextend. We don't want to hyperextend either. Find that balance, find what works for you. What's within your range, within your ability, your capacity to lift. My arms are shaking, but we're not quite done yet. And press. I know whenever my arms start to shake that I do have a few more reps left in me. And press. I really want to fire things up, feel that burn, know that I worked for it. There's a lot of good energy that comes from that. Not only in your workouts, just in day-to-day life, right? What can you get through? What can you power through? How strong are you really? And it's probably more than you think. Towards the waist, press it up. Let's get 2 more in there before my arms give out. Last one. Up towards the ceiling, palms are in. Bring those elbows down towards the waist. And you have a 2-minute break while I reset up our positioning a bit. So for the overhead shoulder presses, which will be next, you have the option of being in a seated position. This could be on a chair, could be on a bench. You could stand, you could kneel, whatever feels best for you. I'm pretty sure by now you're familiar with our presses. And you can also lean the bench back a little bit to make them harder. So this is also up to you. So I'm gonna give you a bit of a side angle here. I'm gonna lift that bench up. I'm gonna go all the way up with mine. And now what you wanna make sure of here is that you can plant both of your feet firmly down on the mat, and you wanna press your back into the bench. So you've got a little bit longer, grab some water, subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet, comment what weights you're using throughout it. And then we're going into overhead shoulder presses. Something also to be aware of is as you're doing these, try to take a bit more of an angle forward with the arms so that you can better target the anterior deltoid. When we're out to the side like this, not only will you be possibly overloading that joint, but you're not gonna work it as effectively, all right, as a result of that. This is a nice break. I like this little break. We should do this more often. I've actually been including it more in the strength trainings. I'm like, you know what? We need that moment to get into position, especially when we've really taxed things. 25 seconds. Go ahead and get your weights ready. We're gonna start with those on the thighs. Press the back into the bench or the chair, or you're doing these from standing and that core is super tight. Bring the weights up to shoulder level. Now we're coming out to that 90, going in 3, 2, core is tight on 1, press, 2, 3, 4. We only have 1 set of these. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you can do 1 arm at a time for 30 seconds each. You've got that timer up there. Press, 2, 3, 4. 10 to maybe 30 degrees forward with the elbows. Core is tight, breathing throughout it. Coming down to shoulder level and back up towards the ceiling, not locking out, trying to keep an even level in both arms as you come up and lower. 2, 3, 4. Press, 2, 3, 4. I'm coming down, I need a moment. If you can keep going, you do you. We've got 10 seconds left. I got 2 more in me, let's go. 2, 3 to lower. Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring it in. And that is your final rep for overhead shoulder presses. We're now going into our Arnold presses. So the palm starts faced in at the shoulder, up and down, palm out, palm in. Facing forward the entire way through. We've got this. Oh, hell yeah, we do. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? We've got 10 more seconds until we go. Now, if I start to feel too fatigued, it's kind of late at night right now while I'm filming, I'll switch to those 10s. In 2, in 1, single arm only, press up and over, out with the palm, back in at shoulder level. facing ahead, brace that core, pull that belly button in towards the spine, press the back into the bench. Enjoy that burn. Slowly lower it down. 2, 3, and 4. Press. 2, 3, and 4. Ooh, here we go. 2, 3, and 4. I think I got one more in me. Half reps count, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Keep going for me. I'm gonna switch to my 10. Starting to feel that fatigue, not trying to injure anything here. Press. 2, 3, and 4. There's pushing to your limit and then knowing where that limit is, right? One more. Slowly lower. Finish off your last rep and bring that weight down. Over to that other side. And then we've got a really fun one for the end. You're like, I know it's not gonna be fun. Yeah, it will be. Gotta be strong, buff, powerful. 15 seconds. You know, stick with that 20 to start. And when I start to feel that burn hit a little too hard and the arm is shaking a little too much, I'll switch to that 10. Or your other option is take an extended rest between our work point. Going in 3, 2, 1. Nice and stable. Palms out. Slow to lower to palm in. Like I said before, if you did want to make this harder, you can also put a decline in the bench. Press. 2, 3, 4. Press. 2, 3, 4. When we train for strength, these are the moments that you have to kind of take yourself seriously, right? It's not just let me power through it, let me push through it. It's how much can I really handle before I need that rest? I'm gonna try to push to that point, but I'll know when to cut that off. Like you just saw me do with the 10s. I said, okay, a half rep will count. Even 1/4 rep will count. It's still progressive overload. Press. 2, 3, 4. See, that right arm had that extended rest. 2, 3, 4. I think I can get one more. 3, 4. Finish off your rep. 2, 1, and done. All right, I'm putting that bench back down now. We're going into our rear delt flies to finish off the workout. And I am simply using the bench as a support. You can also go without it. I'm actually gonna show you from the front, I think, for this one. Maybe change it up a little bit after. So we're lining our leg up just like we had with the back rows. The palm is facing down, coming out to the side, and lowering down. In 2, in 1. If you need to, pause the video, come back, get yourself set up. Out to the side, slow to lower. Working into the rear delt. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lighter weights for this. No need to go super heavy here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stopping just short of the midline. Core is nice and tight, back is straight. Take breaks as you need them. I'm gonna do the same. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and squeeze. Not allowing that weight to fall down. When you feel it start to do that, take a moment. 2, 3, and 4. Keep going. 2, 3, and 4. Core is tight. Last 2. Last one. Slowly bring that weight down and have that 30-second rest. So I could be really nice and have us go over to the other side, or I could be really evil and have us do our partials on the same side for another minute. I think I'm feeling like we should just try to go for it. So the palm is facing towards the thigh once again. This time it's a 1/4 rep up and down, like the dumbbell is floating away, lowering, floating away, lowering. They're quick reps. Going in 4, 3, 2. Are we ready? Yeah, we are. 1, lift, lower, lift, lower. Our finisher, you guys. We have 3 minutes left and we've already knocked out 10 seconds of it. Lift, lower, to the side, down. Leading with the elbow. Try to take note of how many reps you're getting in here. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Take extra breaks if you need it, but try to get that extra rep, that extra burn, even if it's just 1/8 of a rep, I don't mind. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Tall in that posture. 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower that weight. Oh my goodness. Shake that arm out. You've got 30 seconds and it's over to the other side, starting with our rear delt fly. 20 seconds to go. How are you feeling? This one was pretty crazy, right? It burns. Anytime we work those smaller muscle fibers, especially under endurance, they burn. You could work with the same weights for 4 years on shoulders. Takes a while. In 2, in 1, out to the side, slow to lower. Not allowing the upper body to dip. If you are dipping down with that weight, lighten the load. It's okay to even use 2 pounds here. It's not a competition. Not with me, not with anybody else. It's doing what you know you're capable of, working within that ability, within that range. That's how you get to that next level without hurting yourself and regressing backwards. Lift, 2, 3, 4. We all make mistakes, you gotta learn from them, but I'm gonna try to help you not have to do that. So lighten the load if you need to. 20 seconds. 2, 3, and 4. Keep going if you can. 3 and 4, and lift. 2, 3, and 4. Last 2. Last 1. 10 pounds, guys. Woo! I was in for the challenge today. I think what I've been doing lately too with the workouts, we have 25 seconds to rest, is really showing you where I take these breaks. I'm working within my capacity. I'm taking it a little bit heavier, but I know that I'm gonna need those rest points, and I'm really not ashamed of it. It's something that we need to know, because when I do train you with my lighter loads, you're not gonna see those moments happen because that's less than the capacity I can work at. So this is real life. Going in 3 with our partial reps. 2, 1, lift, lower, lift, lower. If you need to, take a break between, and by that I mean take a 4 to 5 second break, try to go back in, and if that's really it, you're too fatigued, then call it a day. Sometimes you just need that little bit of extra energy to your muscles before you go back in. Lift, lower, lift, lower, up, down, up, down. You've got this, girlie. Keep going. It's partial, lower, palm is facing the thigh, back is straight, core is tight, you're strong, you're powerful. You've got 20 seconds. I just cheated. Keep going. Lift, lower, 15, 14, 13, 12, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, finish it. 1, and lower that weight. We've got a few mobility exercises before I set you free. We're gonna take both of those arms towards the front. Just gonna straddle the chair for a minute. Externally rotated, shoulders away from the ears, really straighten those arms out. Only working through the shoulder joint. Coming up towards the midline into adduction. Internal rotation at the top, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Extension back, keep those arms straight. Lower all the way down, fighting for more internal rotation as you lower into your extension. We're gonna do these every time we do an arm workout now, by the way. External rotation and back down. They have been hugely helpful for the function in my shoulder joints. Gotta keep the rotator cuff healthy. Keeping the joints nice and smooth. Up and over into your external rotation. Fight for adduction. Back down. More external rotation at the bottom because it will allow for it as you reach lower. Come back up towards the midline. Up and over into your internal rotation. Extension. Lower down. We're going to do one more rep here. Keep the arms nice and straight. Same tempo throughout. How do you feel? Last one, extend back, lower down, incredible job. And from here, we're gonna do some elbow mobility as well. So the palms are facing away from you. You can have those arms slightly away from the waist. We're coming up towards the shoulders, internal rotation, lower down. up towards the shoulders, external rotation, lower down. 6 reps here. And down. Lift, out, and down. 4 more. Internal rotation, fight for a bit more, and down. 3 more. External rotation, fight for more, and down. Last 2. In and down. Last 1. Out, and bring those arms to the front. Internal rotation for the wrists. Flex, out to the side, extend. For 4, 3, 2, last 1, and you can reverse it, in, out, and away. Just circling out for 2, for 1, and shake those arms out. Last one is for scapula, and for this we're working through the shoulder blades. You should be familiar with this one as well. Hands are in front, form those fists. We're coming forward into protraction, elevate up, retract back to press down. Forward, up, retract, and down. 2 more. Last one, up, retract, and down. Come forward, we reverse it into depression, retraction, elevate, and forward. Hopefully you're happy though, and not in depression, because we just got through a killer arm workout. 2 more, up and forward, come down, retract, come up and forward, and allow those arms to fall to the side. All right, everybody, that sums up our arm workout for today. You got a good strength training, you got a good mobility cool down, and then next week, we're gonna be bringing in that baby in the corner there. I'll be telling you all about it in the next scene. Don't forget that you do have your calendar below, so go ahead and give that a preview if you didn't grab it yet. It's never too late to jump in on it, and it's exactly the way I train and how I learned to stay consistent. All right, everyone, take it easy. Thanks for joining me for today's workout, everyone. Be sure to smash that thumbs up button for me if you did make it all the way through, and subscribe to my channel for a new routine every week. Now let me know in the comments whether or not you'd like to see more of the bench style workouts. And finally, turn your notifications on for next week's burn featuring a new piece of equipment, our barbell. Now, if you don't have one of these at home, please don't worry about it. You will be able to use your dumbbells for all the exercises within the lineup, all of which you'll already be familiar with. However, if you do have one of these at home, it's time to break them out of the shell. Okay, everyone, have an amazing day, and I'll see you for the next workout.